Hi everybody, welcome to our section 3.2 lecture video on problem solving with area. So the first question is, what is area? So area is the measurement of the interior of a figure. It's how much is inside of it. Okay, so we did perimeter last time. Perimeter was around the edge of something, and the area is all inside of it. So the main shapes that you guys are going to have in section 3.2 are rectangles, squares, and parallelograms. So I have pictures of all three, and we'll talk about the area formulas for all three. For a rectangle, the area is just length times width. Okay, so you'll take your length, multiply by your width, and that's it. For a square is a very specific rectangle where all the sides are the same length, so you're technically doing length times width again, but the sides are all the same length. So you're doing your side length times another side length, or if you want to think about it as a side length squared, you can do that as well. Okay? For a parallelogram, this is what they look like. They're kind of like a rectangle that shifted over a little bit. And for a parallelogram, the area is equal to base times height. So the base is one of your side lengths, and the height is a perpendicular to that base. So if you wanted to use this side over here, you'd have to have a perpendicular from that side. So each height goes with a specific base. Okay? So in example 1, what we're going to do is we're going to identify what kind of shape it is. We're going to find the perimeter, just to review that, and we're going to find the area of each figure. In part A, the shape we have is a rectangle. To find the perimeter, we add all of our side lengths. Well, you would notice they've only labeled 2 of them, but I promise it still has 2 more sides. And we have to actually add all 4 of those. So the perimeter, we're going to have 7 plus 21, but then we're going to have to add this other side over here, which is another 7. And we're going to have to add the top side, which is another 21. If you add all of those together, you're going to get 56. The units were centimeters, so my units are still in centimeters. The area for a rectangle, you do length times width, so we're going to do 21 centimeters times 7 centimeters. So if you do 21 times 7, you're going to get 147. For the units, if you do centimeters times centimeters, you're going to get centimeters squared, or square centimeters. Okay. Let's move on to another one. In part B, what shape do we have? We have a parallelogram. So first we'll find our perimeter. Perimeter, we should add all of our side lengths together. So I've got 47, 30, another 47, and another 30. And if you add all of those together, we're going to get 154. My units were in meters, so I'm still in meters for my perimeter. So meters plus meters equals meters. For area, we're going to do base times height. So the height that we have right here is the 24 meters, this perpendicular. And the base that it's perpendicular to is a 47. So here's the height. And you notice this little square thing, that's the perpendicular symbol. It's perpendicular to 47, that base. So we're going to do 24 times 47 to get our area. And 24 times 47 is 1,128. For the units, we're doing meters times meters, which would be meters squared, or square meters. and that's it. Alright, let's move on to some more examples. In example 2, we're kind of going backwards. So I'm giving you the area, and you're finding missing lengths. So in part A, we have a rectangle, and it says if the area of a rectangular rug is 12 yards squared, so my area is equal to 12 square yards. The length is 4 yards, so there's my length. Find the width. So we're trying to find our width. So I know that the area for a rectangle is equal to length times width. I know my area is 12 square yards. I know my length is 4 yards, and I don't know my width yet, so I'm going to leave it as a variable, leave it as a W. I want to solve for that missing width. So the opposite of multiplication would be division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I'll get 3 equals W. So that means that my width would be 3 yards, since we're in yards. Okay. Let's do another one. This one's all in words. It doesn't have a picture yet. If the area of a square is 81 feet squared. So we know that the area is 81 square feet. There's a little typo for us. What are the length of the sides? So we want to know our side lengths. So what I know for a square is that area equals side times side, or side squared. So I've got 81 equals side squared, or what you're thinking, what, 2 numbers multiplied by itself gives you 81. Well, 9 times 9 is 81, so that means that my side length is 9 feet. Or if you want to do it in your calculator, you could do 81, and the opposite of squaring is square rooting, so you could also take the square root of 81 to get 9 feet. Okay, next thing we're going to do is some word problems. And so with our word problems, sometimes you're going to use perimeter, and sometimes you're going to use area. So let's talk about the difference there. So conceptually, perimeter is your distance around a figure. Whereas area is your measurement inside a figure. So some examples. So perimeter, you might have like a fence that's going around a yard. Or you might have like a wallpaper border, where the wallpaper is going around the room. You could have like a picture frame where it's wondering how much wood do you need to go around the picture frame. You'll notice that around word quite a bit with perimeter. And I'm sure we could keep going on and on and on, but there's some starting ideas for you. So area would be things inside. So instead of like the fencing going around a yard, maybe you need to know how much grass seed or how much fertilizer do I need for my grass that's inside of the yard. So how much grass seed do I need? How much fertilizer do I need to go on my entire yard? Okay. Maybe you want to know like how much flooring to use, because the flooring would cover the inside of a figure. It would cover your floor. Maybe you want to know how much paint you need, because you're going to paint your entire wall. You're going to do inside part of your wall. Okay, and we could keep going on and on again, but hopefully that at least gets you guys started and gives you some ideas. So let's try 2 quick examples, and hopefully that helps you guys get a good start for the week. My first one says, a group of neighbors is fixing up a playground for their children. The rectangular lot is 22 yards by 16 yards. I've already drawn you a picture. If chain link fencing costs $6 per yard, how much will they spend to fix to put a fence around the lot. So we're doing around, we're doing the outside part. So we're going around the figure. So we're going to be using, what do you think, perimeter or area? Should be perimeter. So we're using perimeter for this one. So the perimeter for us, we would add all of our side lengths together. We'd have 22 plus 16 plus another 22 plus another 16. So our perimeter should be 76 yards. But that doesn't answer our question. It says how much are they going to spend to put that fence around the yard? And we know that the fencing costs $6 per yard. So 1 yard would cost $6. Another yard would be $12. Another yard after that would be $18. And so what we see is that if we multiply our yards by that $6, we get our cost. So if we have 76 yards, I'm going to do 76 yards times $6 per yard to get my answer. And 76 times 6 would be 456, and it would be $456. In case you're curious, the yards will cancel out since one's on top and one's on the bottom, okay? And that answers our question. The next one says, Mr. and Mrs. Gomez are buying carpet for their square-shaped bedroom, which measures 7 yards along each wall. So let me go ahead and draw a picture of that. We've got a square bedroom. I'm going to try to make a nice square here. And it measures 7 yards along each wall. So every single side length is 7 yards. Okay. The carpet is $25 per square yard, and the padding and insulation is another $6 per square yard. How much will they spend in all? Alright, so if I think about carpet and padding go on the interior of a figure, it goes inside. So this time, am I thinking about perimeter or area? Should be thinking about area on this one, not perimeter, because I'm not putting something around the edge. I'm putting the carpet and the padding all throughout the inside. So the area is what we're going to focus on here. And the area for us would be 7 yards times 7 yards, which would be 49 square yards. Okay, and that's not quite done with our question because they're wondering how much money they're going to spend. The carpet costs $25 per square yard, so let's just focus on carpet cost for a second. So the carpet cost would be that 49 square yards times the $25 per square yard. So I'm going to do 49 times 25, which would be $1,025. Then I can focus on the padding and installation. So for my padding and installation, that's another $6 per square yard. So now I'm doing my 49 square yards times $6 per square yard, which would be $294 for the padding and installation. And then it says, how much will they spend in all? So what do you think we're going to do with these two costs? To find how much they're going to spend in all, we should add those together to get our total. So our total cost, we would add those two together to get a total cost of $1,519. Okay, so hopefully this gets you guys started with some word problems this week. Think them through, make sure you're reading the problem well, draw pictures when you need them, and make sure you're really answering the question all the way. Good luck this week.